This year is the 5th issue of the Justice League Power Rangers crossover by DC Comics. Unfortunately, due to the release of this issue being pushed back well over 2 months, I couldn't actually remember what happened in the previous issue. Anyway, we begin at the NATO headquarters in Brussels, which was quite well drawn and rather accurate to the real-life setting. But the release of this comic was badly timed, as this is now the old NATO building, because in real life the new NATO headquarters was practically completed this year. So Wonder Woman enters the room unannounced and security try to grapple her, but she just continues walking because of her super strength. One of the guards does fire a shot from his gun, but Wonder Woman deflects it. When Wonder Woman finally gets round to introducing herself, she tells the Power Rangers they can enter the room and speak to everyone there. They're not recognised because they are not in their usual suits, so it's up to them to explain who they are and what's happened. Wonder Woman tells NATO to ready their armies. Flash is on his 11th run around the Earth trying to find Lord Zed. Though difficult at first, he spots Lord Zed because he's created some very obvious monsters. Then, Zed informs Brainiac to join him in the destruction of Earth. So Brainiac's drones head down. Green Lantern tries to slow them down, and this is where I remembered what happened in the last issue. Because we see Cyborg stabbed on the ground. The Rangers explain to Superman that Brainiac took control of Cyborg. Just as Cyborg returns to his feet, Superman grabs him and Batman attempts to reboot Cyborg. Superman asks Batman if Cyborg knows that he can do this. He doesn't answer the question, meaning Cyborg has no idea. This is typical Batman. After the reboot, Cyborg wonders why there's a hole in him and asks what Batman did. Billy chimes in and says Batman rebooted him, to Cyborg's annoyance. But there isn't time to argue, as they need to rescue Angel Grove. The Rangers find the imprisoned city, but Cyborg tells the group that when he was connected to Brainiac, he saw someone else on board the ship. It turns out Alpha is also on board. Brainiac wants to study him, as he's essentially a fellow computer. This is where Alpha questions Brainiac's motives. While Brainiac explains his actions, Alpha defends the people of Earth. Brainiac's army reaches Earth, and Kimberly has a great line here as she comments on the Brainiac drones approaching. She says, "It's an army of advanced, super strong robotic death machines, and I have a bow and arrow." It might not be the power bow, but Kimberly is just as good with it as she takes out an approaching drone from the sky. And so Jason, Kimberly and Tommy defend NATO headquarters. Superman asks who Alpha 5 is, so the Rangers tell him he's a friend. Superman decides to rescue Alpha with his super speed whilst the Rangers take Angel Grove and get back to the Javelin. Superman breaks through a wall and tries to grab Alpha, but Brainiac grabs Superman and pulls out a piece of kryptonite, weakening Superman. All of a sudden, Brainiac is stabbed with a sword and the Rangers rush in to attack, with Trini severing Brainiac's head from his body. Batman catches the kryptonite and puts it away in his utility belt, which has been established in Batman stories before that it's lined with lead, therefore protecting Superman from its effects. As the heroes leave, Billy takes Brainiac's arm with them, something Alpha wasn't expecting to hear. The Javelin arrives at NATO headquarters and Superman hands Jason, Kimberly and Tommy their power coins, even though they were doing fine unmorphed. They morph anyway and have their powers back. Alpha exits the Javelin, and Tommy says it's good to see him in one piece, with Alpha unaware they last saw him as a burning, melting head. That's because in the first issue, the Alpha the Rangers saw was actually a bomb. That was several months ago in real life, so a lot of people may have forgotten that. Trini explains to Jason that Billy thinks he can use Brainiac's technology to return Angel Grove to its right size, in its right place. Billy intends to work with Cyborg to defeat Brainiac. The Rangers don't want to summon their Zords in case Brainiac takes control of them again, but they will have to fight to buy Billy some time. The Justice League too will join in the fight. Then, Lord Zed appears. As he throws a grow bomb at his monster, Flash intercepts it and knocks the monster down. Alpha isn't fighting, so Flash hands him the grow bomb for safekeeping. One of Brainiac's drones come along, wanting to take that grow bomb off Alpha. But instead of handing it over, Alpha drops the bomb, causing himself to grow, and he delivers a punch to another of Zed's already giant monsters. And that sets the scene for the final issue. So it was fun to see Alpha grow to giant proportions and take on a monster, something not seen in the TV series or any of the movies. But this issue was quite lackluster in some places. For example, when Brainiac had that shard of kryptonite, it was there for a brief moment, and there's a bit of danger as we wonder what might happen to Superman. But then Brainiac got stabbed and decapitated by the Rangers. That was so quick that there was hardly any tension at all. And I think the delay in releasing this issue caused problems because I really forgot what's happened previously. Some readers have even forgotten about this series or lost interest because of the delay. Nevertheless, I will get the final issue, and you can expect a special video to mark the ending.